are 610,
Mm-hmm.
810, 840. I'm sorry. God, why do I do that? 610, 810, 740, 818, and 510. All right, this is the Best of Investing radio show. We're going to try this one more time, get it on to CMCM. All right? And away let's see, we'll get our headphones on.
Okay.
We know that we're speaking right into the mic.
Yes.
And let's try this. Here we go. Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing. I'm your host, Edward Brown, along with my co-host, Nam Phan of Pacific Private Money and Patty Cohen of Compass Realty. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. You're going to use that number to answer the trivia questions for a 5-pack tanning certificate given away during the show. That certificate's not sponsored by the radio station, but by Tan Bella Tanning Salon, with 2 locations in San Francisco and 1 in Marin. Today's trivia theme is various trivia. Now, Patty, just before the show, you were talking about the last 10 recessions and how they were predicted.
Yeah.
Go ahead, tell us.
Okay.
Speak right into the microphone there. There we go.
The last 10 recessions were predicted by a yield curve inversion. So looking at the 10-year and the 3-year treasuries,
Okay.
right? So in late March, there was an inversion between those two, usually an indicator of a recession within 1 to 2 years. However, the inversion has already ended as low inflation lowered short-term yields.
Okay.
But then I've got this chart, which I won't get into, but for the next 18 months, it shows the percentage of a chance of a recession each month by month. But basically, 11% in May, and by 11% chance of the next is like ain't gonna happen. 90%,
Mm-hmm.
But by March 2020. A 33% chance of recession.
Wow.
So, still.
Well, I remembered, we talked about this a few weeks ago, that in 1980, because I remember I was in college and, we double-digit inflation, really high interest rates, and there was an inverted yield curve because you could get, close to 16% on your money in a money market fund at the bank, and then you could invest in a long-term rate of like 9 to 10 to 11%. And it's like, why would anyone invest long-term at 9 or 10% when you could get short-term rates at 16%? Well, the reason is because in the inverted yield curve, i.e. long-term rates were less because the recession potentially was going to happen, which it did. Yeah. Interest rates came way down, and then the people who had that long-term rate were in the end better off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I remember banking at the time in New York. Yeah.
And we'll go back to that chart too, because I have some questions on that. But there was an article in, I think it was Market Watch, where it says, this is from Guggenheim Associates. Asset management firm Guggenheim has some good news and some really bad news for Wall Street. The coming recession will be milder than past recessions. That's the good news. Bad news is the stock market is still likely to suffer a savage beatdown.
Ooh, savage.
Wow, that's horrible.
That's just a beatdown, but a savage beatdown.
Yeah, an economic downturn sets in as early as 2020. So here's the interesting part. They said the lack of pent-up problems in the housing market and a well-capitalized banking system mean the economy is more resilient.
Yes.
So housing won't be a driver. If you extrapolate from this, housing won't be a driver or a major contributor to the recession.
Mm-hmm.
That should be welcome news for risk assets in the wake of March's inversion of the yield curve. You were saying an apparent harbinger of coming recessions closely watched by Wall Street types. However, despite a relatively soft landing for the economy, equity benchmarks are likely to see a severe slump.
So it sounds like real estate should be relatively, I don't say unscathed, but a better position than equity markets.
Yeah, and certainly relative to the last recession where real estate was such a big...
The leader.
Leader.
So that actually, for Pacific Private Money, that's even better news. I mean, not that you want bad things for the economy, but it's for people who are saying, gee, should I put money in the stock market or should I do other things? Right. But then it's like, holy smokes, you guys can provide a really good return for them.
Yeah, and one report makes not a
of course
accurate, but they do say the S&P could drop as much as 40% to 50%. So that's what they're saying in this asset management firm Guggenheim. So anyway,
that's what happened in 73, 74. The market dropped. I mean, that was really severe.
Yeah. So
that was even more than the 2007-8 decline, right? Because that went from 14,000 down to about 9, if I'm not mistaken, right?
For what year?
For the stock market, for 2008, 7 and 8.
It's
Yeah.
coming along.
And I mean, just in terms of records, like last week on the 2nd, the rates dropped 22 basis points, which was the
That's a
largest
lot.
1 week in over a decade, 1 week drop.
Huh.
So,
Yeah, rates right now for mortgages, conventional 30 years, it's still in the low fours, right?
yeah, like 3.75 and too, some of this.
That's pretty insane, and especially entering seasonality.
Yeah.
Real estate. I mean, now you should start seeing listing volume pick up.
Mhm.
It'll be interesting to see what listing prices are relative to like this time last year or earlier in Q1. So I don't know if you have any comments on that. Maybe
Yeah.
chat about that for a little bit.
All right,
Yeah.
well, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to our first commercial break here. First trivia question. Trivia question number 1 is, which fish does a chef need a special license for to be able to prepare in Japan? All right, call 888-912-1190. Be the first caller with the correct answer. You're going to win that tanning certificate. And again, the question is, which fish does a chef need a special license for to be able to prepare in Japan? All right.
I used to know that.
You remember that one? You still do you remember? You forgot though, huh?
No.
Well, we're gonna have to just fly you to Japan. You're gonna have to ask a chef.
Exactly.
All right. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to the Best of Investing. We're gonna be right back.
So have you been to
Okay, good.
Madcap?
Madcap.
So Madcap is a restaurant in San Anselmo, which is the only Michelin star restaurant in all over Marin.
Really?
Yes, really. It's only been open. I'm saying all this because if you can't brag about your kids, what can you brag about? But it's 18 months it's been open. My son opened it. And what?
No way.
Yeah, with the chef, because this, I
Sure.
should say, like, believe me, he's not the man. He's 21 now. But that reminded me because Ron Siegel is the chef, and he is the only chef, the only American chef that ever won first place on Iron Chef Japan.
Really?
So he knows all about this stuff, and I've learned more.
This is his restaurant
His
along
restaurant.
with your son?
Yes. No, my son did not doesn't own at all.
Okay.
But he opened it with him, and there's only 3 people in the kitchen.
Wow.
And this guy has been the head chef at Michael Mina, at Yountville. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. So you got to go to
French
Madcap. It's
Laundry?
it's
Where is
between Enchiladas and
Oh.
Marinitas on Sir
yeah,
Francis Drake. It was
sure.
that wine bar.
It was a
They
small- it was a
never
very
keep
small
anything.
place,
It's
wasn't it?
very small.
Yeah, very-
And you know what? The prices are really not bad for what
They're
you
not
get.
bad? Okay.
It's the only place in Marin that is
Michelin star.
Michelin star.
You know,
Wow,
I thought
okay.
Sushi Ron was once Michelin star.
He was. He
Okay.
was.
Yeah,
It was.
it's
And they-
very expensive.
Very
Yeah.
expensive. And there were 4 in Marin like 3 years ago. Now there's just 1 because it changes every year.
Yeah.
It was, and ironically, it was Marinitas and Enchiladas, which is this in
That's,
between.
which is great.
And
So it's called Madcap?
Madcap.
Do you need a reservation?
You do. Even still, like a year and a half later, you still need one all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, the chef, I think he was the head chef at Sushi Ron. What am I talking to the mic?
I'm doing the same because we are trained seals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The head chef at Sushi Ron took over Moss's in Novato.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I wouldn't say it's like
plus it's pretty good.
fantastic, but it's
Yeah.
been good since they reopened.
Yeah.
But
And some of those sushi run people went to Village Sake, which is
Okay.
where my son worked a little bit with these
Okay.
guys too. Yeah.
I'll have to try Madcap.
Madcap's
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely have to try that.
Oh yeah.
That's
All
a funny
right.
name.
And after a year to get that star, it wasn't even open 1 year, and then
Yeah,
the next year I
That's
got it.
impressive.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
had to say it.
You
Okay.
ready?
And I have a little bit more on the whole
You do?
Yeah,
inventory
please.
thing. Yeah.
I got. We can.
Okay, ready? Here we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Edward Brown here along with Nam Phan and Patty Cohen. First trivia question was, which fish does a chef need a special license for to be able to prepare in Japan?
don't
I know you know
remember.
this.
Blowfish.
Blowfish,
Blowfish,
that is
yeah.
correct. Yeah, otherwise people could die from poisoning. Hey, you want to make a big quick mention here. You know Easter is coming, and with it, brunch. Easter brunch with your loved ones on an endless buffet. What could be better? How about brunch with a breeze in your hair and some incredible
Ooh,
views?
yes.
Where do we get that? The Hornblower Yachts, of course. Elevate your Easter celebration with a day on the bay. Join Hornblower for one of the we're incredible with live entertainment, a few sweet treats while I'm there, and a visit from the Easter Bunny
That's
for
a
the
good
kids.
idea.
That's great,
Actually.
isn't it? I mean,
That's
how
right.
often do you do that, right?
Yeah.
So visit hornblower.com to reserve your seats today.
And I remember it's not that expensive, is it? I mean, I
No,
don't
no,
remember.
no, especially for Easter.
Yeah.
It's really good, actually.
Okay, I'm writing that down.
Okay, yeah, definitely write that down. Okay, so Patty, continue on. You had
Well,
the
yeah.
article.
I mean, we were talking about, always talking about where's it going?
Yeah.
And everything that Nam said totally makes sense. And then complementing with this and speaking just for real estate, Leslie Appleton Young, who is the national
Chief economist
Chief
for
economist.
CAR. Right?
CAR, exactly. Here's what she has, the long and short of it. In the short run, expect sales to increase modestly,
Okay.
inventory to increase slightly, interest rates to remain low or go even lower,
Wow.
home appreciation to level out.
That all makes sense, especially if there is a recession, you'll have a little bit lower interest rates and the
Yeah.
rest falls in place. Yeah.
And she said, resulting in shorter marketing time, an increase in multiple offers, well-priced homes that may sell above list price, and a seller's market, but not as strong as 2008. So she's more optimistic than I am, and I always thought of myself as dysfunctionally optimistic.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's
So
real estate for you.
Yeah, that's
You gotta
right.
be optimistic,
you
right?
cannot last. You can't do this 30 years if you're not dysfunctionally optimistic.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? Show someone how, you don't want to buy this home, do you? No, you can't. That's
Well, every day is the best day of my life, and every day, like, nothing bad's going to happen, and I'm going to win everything.
there you
I like
go.
that.
But that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So,
So, is this California she's referring to?
yeah, she's talking about California.
Okay.
Yeah,
so-
I think so. That's a good question. I
Must
think
be.
so.
Well, so CAR, I was mentioning it
Yeah.
earlier, stands for California Association of Realtors,
Mhm.
and she's been the chief economist for a long time
A
there.
long time. I
Yeah.
mean, it's got to be 20 years.
Yeah. So, and I tend to agree. Who might I say? But in the Bay Area, I'm still, Uber today announced that they're going public. So
Oh,
now the
finally.
clock starts for them.
Which is
Wow.
kind of interesting because you would have thought they would have gone before Lyft.
Yeah,
But-
I wonder if Lyft was just trying to take advantage of being at least a first mover in terms of IPO because
Yeah.
they're behind. I think they're like 1/4 or 1/5
Yeah.
the valuation
Exactly.
of Uber. But and then Lyft has dropped below their pre-IPO or their IPO opening day price or the
Okay.
pre-IPO
Oh, interesting.
price. But people are saying they're like Facebook because Facebook dropped.
That's
for a
right, I
while and then
remember
they
that.
took off over time. But
Mm.
so Uber's next, and that should be the biggest one of the year. What else? Airbnb is supposed to go public.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that'll be big.
Pinterest is supposed to go public. So I think in the Bay Area, at least from on the west, Santa Clara, Palo Alto, San Francisco, and probably Southern Marin, the effect of all of these companies going public
Yeah.
will create
Create
that demand that's going to drive.
When's Pacific
Prices.
Private Money going to go public?
We're in our quiet period right now.
Yeah,
For
right.
the next 10 years.
I know. But seriously, Compass, wait for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are going
I
to go
get-
Compass. They are so well funded. They are close to being the largest brokerage in the country right now.
Who is Berkshire Hathaway? one?
No.
Berkshire
No,
Hathaway
they're-
is in Coldwell or not Coldwell, but Realogy brands
Yeah.
are still
Yeah.
largest by agent count,
Mm.
but Compass is growing fast. The
That's
fastest.
what you do. You just start accumulating.
Yep. Buy 'em up.
Buy them up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. How is everything at Compass these days?
It's interesting.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
It's different. In Pacific Union, it was owned by a person we all knew.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
could move. We didn't move like a steamship. We just moved quick, and we were innovative, and we took market share. We
Yeah.
were luxury broker,
Mhm.
and we were boutique.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Huh.
This is a lot of millennials. But they move fast.
Yeah.
But it's a steamship. So sometimes when you're moving a steamship, you've got a lot of plates falling behind you.
Right,
People
right.
falling over.
But,
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It feels
Yeah.
boutique to me.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely feels
What, Compass
modern.
or-
Compass.
Yeah.
Pac Union definitely, but Compass feels kind of boutique in a way, at least from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah.
Even though I'm in real estate, they feel sort of boutique.
Well, maybe because the offices,
Look.
the signs are outside the offices that were Pacific Union,
Yeah.
and those offices were chosen to be boutiques
Right.
Oh, interesting.
with 5 agents in them or 10 maybe.
Right.
So that's why they look that, but they're not that.
Mm.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on, if we can.
Yes.
What's going on with Pacific Private Money?
Well,
What's right?
just like the real estate cycle for sales, residential sales, the flip side is the lending side.
And,
right?
and before we forget, you have an event coming up.
Oh yeah. So backing up a little bit. So Pacific Private Money, we have 2 clients, investors and borrowers. On the invest side, we hold or back to holding frequent events, and the next one coming up is April 24th. So that's not too far away. And you actually, if you're interested in going, you better sign up soon because we're almost at capacity.
Yeah.
And it's April 24th, which is a Wednesday. It's in San Rafael at the McGinnis Golf Course in the banquet room. And it's been a while. It's probably been about 6 months since we've done an event.
Yeah.
So people want to know what's going on. Although we provide a newsletter and updates to our investors by email, people want to see us again and
Sure.
you and and
I'll be there.
Hear what's going on. And,
I'm there just for the food.
Yeah.
What time? Because I'm going to put
6
my friend.
o'clock.
6 to
6
8.
o'clock.
Yes,
Okay.
please
Okay.
come.
Yeah.
Patty.
Okay.
So we'll add
Yeah,
you. We'll
thanks.
sign you up. But it's great. No, it's interesting. We're getting more wealth advisors who are
Yeah.
contacting us, and we have a gentleman who is on our notification from South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, he lived in Marin before.
Oh, okay.
So, and he forwarded our invitation to a bunch of his clients and said, "You've got to come check out Specific Private Money."
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's really nice
pretty
having
impressive.
a track record and
Yeah.
having, we're coming up on 6 years
Yeah.
Wow.
of the fund's existence and performance, and our track record speaks for itself. Obviously, we work very hard to continue to pay the consistent returns and choose the right loans for the fund. But this is a great opportunity to meet Mark and you, Edward, and other investors, ask questions about, what is Pacific Private Money Fund about?
All right. Okay, we'll get back to that. Let's cut to our next commercial break trivia question. Here it is. What does a spermologer collect? And this is a clean,
This
G-rated
cannot be.
show.
This has got to be a trick question, not the obvious.
Well, it's not what you think, but that's the trivia question. What does a spermologer collect? 888-912-1190. See if you can
Wait.
answer that question, all right? We'll be right back. I know.
God, this
I
is
saw that. I go,
going fast.
what?
What? I love it. I might do that hornblower thing.
Yeah, it's a great idea for Easter.
Yeah.
The food's excellent too, and then they have usually pretty decent bands and all that fun stuff.
Okay. Let's see.
Hopefully this YouTube is working very well out there in TV land. Okay, a little mention here for someone. We'll get back to like deal of the week and stuff. Remind people what you do. Ready to go?
Mhm.
All right, here we are. Well, welcome back to the best of investing. Edward Brown here. Nom Fon over there. Patty Cohen over there. The audience can't see, but that's okay. All right. Second trivia question was, what does a spermologer collect?
Spermologer or spermologist?
Well, this actually says spermologer.
Spermol, it collects.
No, trivia.
Trivia!
So
Really?
I must be one. I am a spermologer.
Good for you.
Spermologist. Yeah. I'm gonna put that on my resume.
Exactly.
All right.
Oh my God.
Okay,
It's
so,
so
we
crazy.
wanted a couple of mentions here. First one is for Dr. Keith Cooper, DDS. He's a board certified specialist who's been placing and restoring dental implants in San Jose for more than 25 years. His patients love, it's called Teeth in a Day or Teeth Express. So for dental implants in San Jose, see Keith Cooper DDS at cooperdds.com.
Wow.
All right, Nom, so we just mentioned that before we went to the break, Pacific Private Money is going to be having an event. You're almost at capacity.
Mhm.
If people wanted to come, how do they get a hold of you to sign up? And then
Yeah.
tell them exactly, what is Pacific Private Money? Why
Sure.
would they want to come?
Sure. So to RSVP, just call our office, 415-883-2150, and we'll register you. Or you can go on our website at pacificprivatemoney.com. And on our blog page, you can sign up for the event. There's a link to register. So what does Pacific Private Money do? So this event is geared to people who are interested in investing. And as I mentioned on the last segment, we work with two clients. Borrowers, people who need the funds for typically a real estate purchase or refinance. Well, for a real estate purchase or refinance. And investors, those people who provide us the capital that we lend out. So on the investment side, well, let me back up. When borrowers come to us, they're typically paying, private money rates are usually in the 9s, 10%.
Okay.
On the invest side, the investors earn typically around 7.5% if they're invested in the fund, a little higher if they're invested in trust deeds.
Okay.
So,
And the main question would be, why would someone pay 9 or 10%? Why do they come to you? Why are you in business?
I'll tell you lately, for years on the show, we say, we do loans that banks don't do, or when somebody can't get conventional financing. And if you look back at the last in the last year, I'd say the reason was speed. If you look back in the last year, I'd say it's more for speed than anything lately. Yeah. And well, really speed first, and then they can't get bank financing second. Just people these days, there's so many opportunities come up where bank financing just takes 45, 60 days.
Yeah.
Well, I heard from one of the guys in the office that there's this one deal out there where, the guy's got, 805 FICO score, tax returns look great, everything is perfect. The problem is he went from being a salaried employee to 1099 to go off on his own. So he's still doing pretty much the same job, has, a number of clients, but the bank won't give him a loan for basically 2 years. They want to see, because even though he's in the same field, he's not being paid the same.
Right.
And he'll make more money being self-employed, but it's different.
Yeah.
Right. And in a situation like that, what we look at is what's their history? What's their track record, where a bank will say, we need to look at now. And at the moment now, you're not making that kind of income yet. So a lot of times we're looking at their likelihood to perform the way they've done in the past.
If the guy was a brain surgeon and then suddenly he says, I'm going to be a cowboy.
Or vice versa.
No experience necessary.
I'll tell you, I bet on him becoming a cowboy.
Yeah.
Being able to pull it off, right? Than the other way
I
around.
would rather him rope my cattle than go inside me to start messing with my organs.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, so people come to us for speed.
So when you say speed, so maybe somebody is competing in multiple offers and they have to close it right away, and somebody else can do it in 10, like another buyer can do it in 10 days, and they've got to wait 45 days with BFA.
Or somebody, yeah. Or they want to make a on-sale contingency.
Yep.
We can provide, and they have a sale contingency would mean that they have a home to sell, right?
Yeah.
So that's the other reason. They have a home to sell and they want to make a purchase first.
Got it.
Bank's going to say, in most cases, I'm sorry, you don't qualify for 2 mortgages. So that is an example where they can't get a bank loan.
Yeah.
But the dual purpose of that is so they can buy before they sell, but also when they're making the offer to be able to say, hey, I have a non-sale contingent offer.
Yeah.
That makes me more competitive with all cash.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see more all cash happening, in different pockets of the Bay Area with all of these companies going public. People will become instant millionaires. So,
and then maybe another example of speed is when that mortgage broker said, don't worry, and they're already in contract, and they have to close next week, and the deal blows up, and they don't have a loan, and they've got $100,000 deposit in escrow that they're going to lose.
That's a great other example. We can talk about that as well.
Well, and before we go to break, I'll answer this question if you would, because an email comes in and it says, are you flexible with your loan quotes, or are they set in stone?
We're flexible.
Okay.
So bottom line is, when we're quoting a loan, oftentimes we're giving a range because, people come to us because of speed or the 11th hour. We're often the 11th hour call because something blew up with their conventional loan. So we're starting out with limited information. Like we tell a mortgage broker, we'll be able to tell you in 10 minutes if it's a deal we can do. We have to, we'll tighten up on the actual rates and terms once we get a better idea of the actual.
But once you have all the information and you give a firm quote,
we stick.
That'll stick.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, and for buyers out there, they can basically write an offer non-contingent upon getting a loan once you guys say we'll do it.
We'll greenlight it.
And that's pretty unusual because everybody knows if they're buying a house, like there's always loan approval until the last minute. You got to stick it in there.
And banks are notorious for being late. Let's
Yes.
put it that way. All right, let's see here. The third trivia question is, what is the body of water that surrounds a castle called?
Oh, I know.
You know that one. I had to give you at least one easy one here, right? Call 888-912-1190. Be the first caller with correct answer. You're going to win that Tanning certificate. Also want to make a mention here for Dr. Love. Dr. Love, L-O-E-V. So a nice smile consistently tops surveys as the most memorable feature when first meeting someone, and you only have 7 seconds to make that impression. If you think about it, that's true. Check out San Francisco cosmetic dentist Dr. Love, www.drloev.com. They'll give you a, in fact, the first 10 people who contact his office get a complimentary dental bleaching just for coming in. Dr. Love, drloev.com. Don't let that down. The best of investing. We'll be right back. All right. Good. Goes fast.
Wow, it sure is.
It goes fast. So you remember we're recording Wednesday at the off at
Yeah.
So-
What time are we recording again?
anytime. I mean, I have it set for 4, but we can,
Okay.
just anytime. I'll be there early.
I might just bring my friend Kathleen. Actually,
You guys, I mean,
To-
you always come to the bottom if you want. I mean,
yeah, no, I'm saying to the dinner thing or
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
it is. I don't know if it's a dinner, to McGinnis. But actually, she is the stager that was supposed to be here today, but her husband
Yeah.
had a stroke. She's
Yeah,
the
that's so sad.
one.
Is he gonna be
But
okay?
he's gonna be okay. He's been sick for a really long time, and he keeps getting. And you know what? People get old, and stuff happens. They don't get better.
Yeah.
We already know it's gonna get worse.
We actually had a very sad situation in the office
Yeah,
last week.
one of our this week.
Somebody
One of
passed
our Mike Walton. I don't know if you met him, but he's one of our underwriters. He passed away unexpectedly. He had a heart attack.
Jesus.
He's doing a charity run over the weekend, and passed.
Oh God.
Yeah,
How old? Like 60s, 50s?
28.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Oh my
That was tough.
God.
All right. And then Patty, question for
Okay, and
you.
I'll get my information.
Yeah, when does it make sense to put in a backup offer?
Oh, okay, that's a good question.
Okay. All right, ready? Away we go. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. One more time, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Mark. See, Mark's not here, but I have a piece of paper here. Nam Fon of Pacific Prep Money and Patty Cohen of Compass Realty. Third trivia question is, what is the body of water that surrounds Castle called?
Moat.
Moat. That
So
is correct.
why do they have boats?
So that attackers can't attack them, right?
And also, I think for tunnels to prevent people from building tunnels into
Ah,
the castle.
good.
That's what I read somewhere too.
I guess if you go below the moat, then it would still work.
Yeah, but I think they make it
Yeah,
you have
gotta
to
make
dig
it
it
pretty
deep.
deep. Yeah.
Ah,
Good one.
wow, that's too hard.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
good.
That's hard
uh,
work. I'm not going to dig
That's
that
a good
deep.
idea.
Yeah.
And in fact, when we
chocolate
went to Spain, we saw like this old castle type thing. I can't remember where it was. It was like a short name, like Galt or something like that. And it was neat because they had like a moat, land, and another moat. I mean, there's no water in it at this point, but
Yeah.
or they kept it. Or actually, they didn't fill it with water. They kept it as a valley. If it's water, then you just take a boat, go across it.
Mhm.
But if it's a valley, you got to go down and then
Uh-huh.
up again and down and up. So you're kind of easy pickings there.
Yeah.
They should bring back moats.
They should bring back moats.
It's a new water feature.
Oh my goodness. I can hear the disclosures. Now I have to deal
Yeah.
with moats disclosures.
I know. I
As
always
far as
wanted
I
a
know,
moat.
no one's ever drowned in my moat.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I always wanted a moat. Okay, Patty, email comes in and says, when does it make sense to put in a backup offer?
Well, it's a really, really good question. And the answer is it depends how hot the property is. Because generally, so if there are 19 offers and you are asked to do a backup, do a backup. Because, that deal's probably not going to fall apart. But if it does, you want to be there.
Okay.
So a backup offer really helps the seller
Yeah.
because it just makes the first one more solid.
Yeah.
The old, I wouldn't want to belong to a club that would have me as a member, And sometimes, unfortunately, a lot of times the strategy for buyers is, once we get into escrow, let's get the money off. We got the highest bid, but let's try to get 50 off or something.
Mhm.
Well, with a backup offer, no, can't
Right.
do it. We got somebody ready to go. But I mean, once you get close to money, everybody kind of
But sometimes doesn't that kind of push the first buyer to
perform.
to perform?
Yes,
which,
it does.
Which sometimes then if you're the backup offer, it's like, no, I don't want to do a backup offer
Right.
for that reason.
That's why it depends how hot it is. Because
Yeah,
if there are
good
19
point.
offers, just be honored that you're in backup position because that deal's probably going to sell anyway. But in the event it falls apart, you want to be there.
And
Okay.
But if it's a kind of a normal market
Yeah.
and they got 2 offers, and if the first one falls apart, the seller's going to be pretty vulnerable. So don't go into backup necessarily on that one.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
also, and I've talked to a number of realtors who have actually had their backup offers
Accepted.
accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Oh, okay.
it's higher probability than you would think.
Yeah.
Just because the number of deals that actually fall through because of whatever reason
Yeah.
is high enough that backup offer could make a lot of sense.
Well, and also people get remorse sometimes because when I counsel buyers about making an offer in multiple offer situation, I go, put it at a number where you won't be upset if you get it and you won't be upset if you don't get it.
That's
Oh,
smart.
good.
That's very good advice.
What about writing letters if you're the buyer?
Oh yeah, do all of that, bake them
Is that-
cookies, all that. Yeah.
That only started, what, about 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Well, seller's market.
Yeah, I guess that would happen now. Okay, who wants to hear a joke?
Yes.
You ready?
We all.
Okay. All right. So there's this guy, and he's golfing with his wife, and for some reason there's a barn in the fairway, right? So he hits this ball, and it lands right in front of the barn. And the wife says, "Hey, I got this great idea. Why don't you we'll open up the front door and the back door. You can see the hole and just hit right through." He goes, "That's a great idea." So he hits the ball. It goes through the barn, but before it gets to the back door, it hits the top of the door, ricochets, and kills the wife. Okay,
That's
so-
not funny.
that's not funny. Okay, so don't laugh,
I'm
right?
laughing.
So a year goes by. He remarries, plays golf again, same hole, same thing, where he hits it right in front of the door, right in front of the barn door. And the wife says, "Hey, I got this great idea. Open up the front door, open the back door. Why don't you hit through and then you can see?" He goes, No, I'm not doing that again. He goes, "Last time I shot a 6."
People turn the channel.
I know. I was going to say that's more of a joke that
You're in
the
trouble.
wives don't like.
I know,
The
exactly.
husbands like it. But
Exactly.
wives don't like that one. Okay, and then I got one more here because it's kind of funny. But keep talking because I'll have to find it.
You always come up with some good jokes.
Some were kind of funny. Nom, how big is the fund right now?
The fund is currently just north of 46 million.
Wow.
Holy
So
smokes.
yeah, so we're updating the PPM right now to increase the fund because currently it's at 50 million. Is the original cap that we placed, but I think we're going to increase it.
And if I remember correctly, the CPA told you that it does qualify for the QBID as long as people keep their income below the threshold.
QBID meaning qualified.
Business
business
income deduction. Yeah, so
Which-
20% of your distribution income is
Can be non-taxable, but you got to talk to your account or your
Yeah.
CPA because if you have other QBID eligible investments, I think
yeah, you have to kind of like put
there's
it
a
all together
max.
if your income's too high, if you make over 315
Yeah.
a year. So if you're just kind of a normal person, you get that
Yeah.
deduction.
Yeah, that's
That's really
great.
good to know.
Okay, one more joke. I found it.
Yeah.
All right, so I told my wife that I wanted our kids every other weekend, and she reminded me that we were still married and lived together, so I have to see them every day. Now, I love my kids, and my kids love me,
Do they
Because
listen
they're
to
out of
the
the
show?
house.
and I hope not. Actually, my daughter's graduating in May from Tulane,
Wow.
and then
Great.
moving on to George Washington
Oh, she's
in
getting
Wow.
D.C.
further.
Keeps going, yeah.
I know she's going the wrong way. She's going
Yeah.
eastward, but she wants to come back to Marin, which
Does
is
she-
good.
When
Yeah.
she gets out of school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe do an
great.
internship here or something. She likes the weather here, which is good.
So is she in studying finance? Is that what she? Or economics?
It'll be global economy,
Oh,
Wow.
basically, yeah. And then she wants to do like micro loans for underprivileged women country.
great.
It's
Oh, that's
kind
great.
of along the lines of what you're.
There's so many
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah, there really are.
It's so much. That would be so cool if she
Yeah.
pulled that off.
No, she
Wow.
definitely wants to do good in the world.
Wow.
I told her, I said, just don't fall in love back there.
Yeah.
That'll be too hard to keep
Oh,
going on an
man.
airplane all the time.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to bring hubby back here.
Yeah.
So that's what we told her.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, in DC, but definitely don't fall in love in Africa. making those.
No,
no.
It's a really long trip.
Yeah, I don't know if she's actually going to visit there per se, or just do the paperwork from here.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
When she goes to
No decision
graduate
needs to be
school.
made right now.
No.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for that. The only decision is where's the money going to come from to pay for school.
I know, exactly. And that's been decided.
So, we already robbed 3 banks to get her into college. Now we have to just rob a 4th one. Just kidding. Don't call 911. I'm just teasing. All right. We've got just another 20 seconds before we have to cut to our last break.
Oh, I didn't say my information.
You did?
Yeah, how do we call
Yeah.
you?
Well, I'm Patty Cohen at Compass Real Estate, and I am at 415-722-4842. That's Cohen, Cohn, and bestmarinagent.com.
That's always a good one. I like that one. All right, stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing, and we're going to have some closing comments when we come back. We got some funny thoughts for the day.
Oh, I thought we were wrapping up.
Always have to give 5 seconds of
Oh.
before and after there. Okay. So let me save the file. Yeah.
Oh,
Having too much fun. I didn't know time.
I know. Wanted to pitch PML real quick.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. You come up with a theme song for PML.
Yeah, we should do for both. We should do a TV commercial with some old school singing,
There you go.
a barbershop quartet.
I like barbershop quartets. I had a client who was his group was ranked 11th in the world in the championships. He went to like the Netherlands or something to perform.
Really?
Yeah, it was and the act was so good and it was so funny. I cried laughing.
Really?
It was that. It was.
That's
I mean, it
cool.
was
That's
yeah. So it wasn't just a sing like this. I mean, they were really good, but the act was just funny because they took one of the guys and they drew like some lines and pretended he was a ventriloquist, or he was the dummy.
Yeah.
It was just. I wish I had it on tape.
That's so cool.
Hopefully they recorded it. It's called The Rad Dads.
Do you think they're on YouTube?
You know what? That maybe.
Yeah.
I'll have to
check.
look up The Rad Dads. Okay, are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. Here we go. Welcome back to The Best of Investing. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with Nam Phan of Pacific Private Money and Patty Cohen of Compass Realty. Nam, there's another outlet you guys have called PML. What does it stand for? What does it
Yeah. So PML is our acronym for privatemoneyloans.com, which is our marketplace for selling trust deed investors. So, we have 2 types of investors.
Investments.
Investments.
You don't sell
excuse me.
investors.
Investments.
It's illegal to sell people.
Yeah,
I'm just
that's
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Human
So,
trafficking again.
Yeah.
yeah, great. And we're taking us down a dark path.
Yeah.
So private money loans is where investors can buy or invest in notes, trust deeds. And you're talking about backup offers earlier. So we place loans that sometimes our fund is at capacity. Actually, most of the time our fund is at capacity. So we have to be able to get loans funded through individual high net worth investors, of which we have, several hundred, mostly in the Bay Area, certainly in California. But it's competitive. But it's a great way to diversify. So if you're, looking, you don't want to invest in the fund, well, trust deeds is the way to go. Or you're invested in the fund and you want to diversify, you can also invest in individual deeds of trust. So the fund is made up of a pool of mortgages, notes, and individual trustee investing is where you're 1 or maybe 2 or 3 individuals who are, the bank essentially on a specific loan, specific property.
Yeah.
So with private money loans, it's our marketplace where it's kind of like the MLS of note sales, and you can see different funding opportunities. And going back to your comment earlier, the question earlier, Patty, about backup offers, same sort of principle applies here. So a lot of times there's some really great opportunities that get
Snatched up
really
Wow.
fast, but it doesn't hurt to be in backup too. It lets us know that for some reason, if that previous investor backs out, maybe their funds didn't come through, so they can't close, then it's a great opportunity to be in backup position. We'll call you next if the first investor backs out or investor groups back out. will.
Well, how can they back out? Because aren't they counting on them?
Well, up to a point,
Yeah.
they can back out, and
Oh.
once they're fully, they've signed all the lender docs and they need to wire the funds in, then that's at that point they're pretty much committed. Although we've had very few rare instances where the funding didn't happen, so we have to go alternate. But we give people a period of time to do their due diligence, investors, a period of time to do their due diligence, sort of like the inspection period on a purchase. And sometimes at that point they may say, you know what, I'm not comfortable with this. Where other investors may say, I'm totally comfortable with this. Just the valuation of the property is, I live in the same town and I know it's worth that.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
privatemoneyloans.com.
privatemoneyloans.com. Okay, here's some thoughts of the
Check
day.
it out.
So no dictionary has ever been able to define the difference between the word complete and the word finished. All right. However, in a linguistic conference attended by some of the best linguists in the world, a man from Guyana, or Guyana, however you pronounce it, was the clever winner. His final challenge was this: some say there is no difference between complete and finished. Please explain the difference in a way that is easy to understand. His response was, when you marry the right woman, you are complete. If you marry the wrong woman, you're finished.
That's really good.
And when the right woman catches you with the wrong woman, you're completely finished. I thought that was true.
It's really good.
College is and here's the other one. College is the opposite of kidnapping. They demand $100,000 from you, or they'll send your kid back. That's about true, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
All right. Again, I love my kids.
Yeah, right.
Or the case of the college.
And your wife.
Yes, that's right.
There you go.
There was some discouraging wife stuff today.
That's true. Can't do that. Okay.
You're going to be kicked out
I
tonight.
know. Be very quiet. Okay, Patty, one more time. How do people get a hold of you?
Oh, Patty Cohns, COHN. I'm at 415-722-4842. 30 years selling residential real estate.
Yeah, that's why you're the best.
Performing in the top for so many of those years,
Yes.
right?
And
Yeah.
how do people get a hold of you if they're interested in coming to the free seminar where you're actually going to feed them?
Yes.
Hopefully we'll have good food. That's when I'm showing up.
Feed you and talk to you. So
There you
415-883-2150. Call in and reserve a spot, or go to www.pacificprivatemoney.com.
Very good. Tune in next week to The Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away more free prizes for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.
Yeah, that's coming up, the 20th.
Yeah.
24th.
24th. I just
24th.
wrote that down because I was thinking about inviting, remember Alexander, believe it or not, Alexander Koch. Remember she was on the show
Yeah.
one time?
Oh.
She's
What's her
in
last name?
Financial Koch. believe
Oh,
it or
yeah,
not.
yeah, I remember. Yeah. Sure. No,
She said it was horrible in middle school, but with that name. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of that. But so she's a financial advisor. She
Yeah.
would be good. I don't know why. I must have invited her before. My friend Kathleen,
I've spoken, or
you've
she's
spoken to her.
spoken.
Yeah, I don't know what she's waiting for. She just bought a place in Reno. She doesn't her both parents passed away, so she got some money.
Mhm.
But she's not one to have super confidence in financial decisions. So she's
Mhm.
always asking me that
The
stuff.
thing is, the stuff is, I mean,
It's no brainer.
well, A, you understand it. B, you've had experience with it.
Yeah.
And, the nice thing is that people can change. I mean, as long as they stay in for a year,
Yeah.
there's no fee to get in, no fee to get out. It's one thing if you have to pay a load to get into something and you go, now I got to stay in it for so long to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
But if there's no fee to get in and no fee to get out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
after 1 year, and they're constantly people redeeming, and it's easy to
Yeah.
they just had a bunch of money come in from loans that got paid off.
Yeah. If it's not your area, there's too many choices, and what if I make them wrong?
Well,
Anyway, it's a not a hard concept,
no.
and it's an easy in and easy out. So
Well, the thing is, I mean, what you can speak to is the experience of the fact that why it's needed. But why do people need this kind of money?
Yeah.
Right. They need to
Oh,
borrow
totally.
for real
Totally.
estate situations.
that's why I chimed in there, because I knew that we were missing some of that. People didn't get it. Yeah. Right. Going over to
Yeah, I
Dominican
couldn't
Republic.
find the Rad Dads per se.
I love it.
Yeah,
The
the
Rad
Rad
Dads.
Dads.
Dads just get such a
There
bad
was another
rap.
one that they called themselves before that, and this one's called Dad Wagon, but that's
Dad wagon.
Dad Wagon.
That's funny.
Yeah. But
Dad wagon.
yeah, because I'm looking for my client and I can't see him in this one. So, and this was we were talking 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So they have to do
Are
something
they,
different.
do you know if they're still performing?
I don't know. I remember his name was Bruce Morgan. Bruce
Oh.
Morgan. He had a car dealership up in Santa Rosa.
Oh.
Nice looking guy, you know, but boy, those guys were good, really good. And they, I mean, they, you know, practically sold out at, you know, venues around here and stuff.
Wow.
11th in the world. That's
Wait, 11th in the world in what?
But with competition, they have competitions for barbershop quartets.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll be
Very good.
seeing you on the 24th, that's for sure. I'll sign up
Really?
for it. I gotta
Okay.
sign up.
Yeah, sign up for it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you already
please
have
do.
like 50 people or something.
46. But
46?
you know,
That's a lot.
the
Some people
no-show rate is usually like
Yeah.
25%.
That's wrong.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Do they understand that it's a dinner? You can't just go show.
Yeah, but it doesn't cost them anything, you know.
I
And
know.
It's like,
No skin in the game. So you, of course, like lower what your count to the place.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah.
And worst case, you know, somebody's gonna be anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah, but it's definitely there's some financial advisors
Worst
who are
case,
interested
Edward
in dealing,
doesn't
which is
eat.
good. Forget it. Of course I'm eating.
I know.
Ben Stewart, remember him?
Ben
We met,
Stewart?
Wealth Advisor. He is Brian Buffini's Wealth
Oh.
Advisor.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes,
He's around here?
yes.
Or no?
He lives here. No,
Yeah.
Brian Buffini's in
Southern California.
That's
Yeah.
right.
What's his
that's
last
right.
Ben Stewart.
Oh, Ben Stewart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Is he
Interesting.
gonna come?
He said he's gonna try and come.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've been
Right.
emailing him. He's like, "Hey, we've been investing in multifamily, but you know, definitely debts. You know, we still have an interest."
Oh my God, you need to get Brian Buffini talking about it from the stage.
Oh my
It's
God, would that
over.
be-
Oh, yeah.
You better.
And
Get some
who's
loans.
the other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roger Gaynor asked about when the update. Remember, he was on the show as a guest,
Mhm.
and he hadn't seen it on
I
the
sent
website. No, I mean, like if he wants to point people to the website.
for the radio show.
Yeah.
That was one from like 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah, I
Is that
thought
Maybe you guys.
Did you?
I'll
Okay,
check.
bye.
Oh, you know what? Let me. Okay, no, sorry, that's Jeff Lerman.
Yeah, that was
Okay, I
Jeff.
can do it tomorrow.
Okay.
So just let me remind myself. Bye, Patty.
I have a few more minutes here for the thing to run because we have to do so many minutes.
Oh yeah.
This is April 13. My mom, if she lived, she would have been 90 years old on
Really?
Saturday. Yeah. How was the office today? Was it a little more,
Better.
a little bit better?
I think
At
everyone's
times,
like,
yeah.
you know, we talked to Mike's dad, and you know, trying to see how we can help. So we're offering to help to put together like a GoFundMe page, but we found a different way because GoFundMe
They're
you get
expensive.
taxed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
it's funny because I've got a nonprofit, and if there's a way that we could kind of run it through that, I mean, then people could get a tax deduction.
Yeah,
you know,
he's
but he's,
he said- yeah, that's sweet. The only thing I can think of is that's a hard line connection, right? Or is that you?
no, yeah, I'm doing, yeah. The hard
Yeah,
line.
so that's connected directly through a cable to the.
Gotcha, maybe that's what it is.
But you know, we'll try that next time.
Okay. Fair, fair.
I'm curious because it takes like literally like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Every time.
So,
But people are feeling better.
so is there another type of company like a GoFundMe?
Um,
I mean, how wealthy are his parents?
they're. I don't know.
So I always
but,
wonder about, you know, I mean, listen, nothing personal, but people should have insurance.
Yeah,
And,
So Mike did have insurance. His dad told us today.
oh, we
He
did.
had life
Okay,
insurance
good.
and some retirement from his time at Green Point.
Oh, good.
So
Okay.
yeah. So but you know
Alright.
it's gonna take a few weeks to process.
Yeah.
But I think his dad's doing his dad's worked for Lawrence Livermore Lab
Okay.
for years. He actually still works there.
Wow.
So funny. He's like, I'm going to retire. Said I'm going to retire. Like he's 70, but I still may work part time. I've got submitted a proposal to NASA for a contract work.
Wow.
And he's a nuclear scientist.
Gotcha,
It's so interesting.
Well, Mike has all, and he had all the, the vending machine stuff. I don't know if that's what happens with that.
Oh,
He
with
had a
his
yeah, he had a partner on that.
he had his laundromat.
Laundromat, I mean. What did I say?
Yeah, vending machine.
Vending,
They have
laundromat,
vending
yeah.
machines there too, but yeah, I'm sure. I don't know. Maybe if the partner will take over and have to buy out. I don't know if he
All
can.
those loose ends.
Yeah.
How old were Mike's kids, specifically his kids?
How are they?
How old are they?
Oh, how old are they? 14, think 18 and 19, or 14, 18, and 20. And
then she had two kids.
two kids
How
that
old
are
were they?
14 and I'd say like,
Oh, that's right. They're about
11.
the same age. Okay.
Yeah. And they were all there yesterday.
Mm. Does the wife work out, or the girlfriend work outside the home?
She did, yeah, she does. I'm not sure where she works, who she works for, but it's not like a I don't know.
Not significant.
Yeah, yeah. So their parents are moving to Windsor.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And did he have brothers and sisters?
He had a sister who was there yesterday, and his ex-wife was there.
Really?
Yeah, she
I
kind of
didn't-
kept her distance. She was there with her boyfriend too.
Okay.
So people thought that was.
Was she respectful?
She was, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she hung back. I think she's actually still moderately in communication with Mike's parents.
Oh, what about the kids? I mean, her kids are there.
Yeah, they
don't
did
really
not interact with her.
Wow.
Yeah, because they tried reunification, but it just didn't work out.
I can't even imagine what that'd be like.
Really tough. That consumed him.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll do it.
But he was a good guy. Oh, so